Okay, we're going to tie a Cannon Bunny Dun, a great bluing olive imitation. Only three materials: 8/0 thread, rabbit's foot, and microfibrils. You start the thread the size of the eye behind the eye and leave a 4 or 5 inch tag. You'll see me sticking it out into the material clips there. Get two microfibrils, just two, and I'll show you two ways to mount these. The first is you just lay it on top of the hook, a couple wraps over it, and pull it into the right length. Measure with your scissors. They're a great measuring tool. You get it to right length, and this is the other way. Let me unwrap that, and you reach around behind and lift the material up onto the top of the hook and measure, and again you can pull it back and forth to get your right length, and then wrap over it to the rear. You get back here, couple wraps back up, and then use your thumbnail to flare those up and bring that thread tag that you left out there up between the two microfibrils and secure it down with a couple wraps, and then you're going to tug on it to split these. That little tug right there will keep those split like they are. I cut that tag and the original tag off. And wrap up here where I want the wing to be, and I'm going to use the toe of a rabbit's foot that I've colored black with a magic marker. I'm going to kind of even up these ends and clean out some of the fuzz and lay that down on the tabletop with the tips pointing to the left. Just about the length of the shank, the tips to the left. Set that down, grab another clump same size, do the same thing. I'm going to size it against the shank. I'm going to clean the ends. But I'm going to roll this over in my fingertips and lay it down on top of the other clump with the tips pointing to the right. So these are to the right, lay it on top of the other, take these tweezers, pick them both up, one clump left, one clump right, and just tie them on to the top of the shank using a figure 8 wrap. You can see the tips sticking down there. And when I release, and you see the other tips pointing up now that I've pulled them into place, just a figure 8 wrap or two. And once you have them on and secure, you pull them straight up, start wrapping around the base, making horizontal wraps above the hook. These horizontal wraps will gather that all up and stand this up in a post. And I didn't worry too much about measuring the height or anything of this wing, because a lot of these, especially the tips of rabbit's foot, a lot of these hairs are broken. And so you can trim this to the right height after you get it secure. So I've got a bunch of wraps around the base. It's a little too high, but I feel comfortable with it being a clump. I just gather it together, cut it off. And there it is. If anything, maybe it's a hair too short now. But I've got an upright posted wing. I'm going to take a very little bit of olive dubbing, wrap around the base of this post. You can see how little I'm putting on here. A few wraps around the shank, a few wraps around the base of the post, a couple more wraps around the shank, trying to cover everything up. And that's it. That is the whole thing for a Cannon Bunny Dun. It's a great fly. It's by far my best bluing olive imitation. Fish is the best for me. Certainly I didn't design it, but I fish this a lot. So there's a Cannon Bunny Dun tied using rotary fly tying techniques.